There's something fascinating about the way cybersecurity professionals think. It's not just about knowing which firewall to install or how to detect a phishing scam. It's a mindset, a unique way of viewing the digital world through a lens of curiosity, skepticism, and constant vigilance. When a hacker looks at your business, they don't see a website, they see a puzzle, they see a network, they see an opportunity. Are you seeing what they see? It is time to learn how to think like a security professional. You might think this mindset is reserved for hackers turned good, or IT experts in a data center. But in reality, developing a cybersecurity mindset is something anyone can do. It is more necessary than ever in a world where digital threats are an undeniable part of our everyday lives. It does not matter what your role is. You could be a startup founder running your own business, a remote worker managing client files, or a weekend side hustler handling customer data. Thinking like a security professional could save you from a devastating financial or reputational loss. It could prevent your business from grinding to a halt. So what exactly does it mean to think like a cybersecurity pro? And why should it matter to you? Let's break it down and explore the core principles that define this way of thinking. 1. Smart security begins with vigilance. Cybersecurity professionals are not necessarily fearful people. They are, however, by default skeptical. They have a healthy dose of caution that allows them to question everything. They do not take things at face value. When a new app or tool asks for permissions, they want to know exactly why it needs them. They consider the potential risks. When a system or a website behaves in an unusual way, they do not just ignore it. They assume there's a reason for the change, and they consider that the reason might not be a good one. Security experts are constantly asking questions. They ask, what could go wrong here? What if someone tries to exploit this new feature? What would I do if I were an attacker trying to break into this system? They think proactively, always looking for potential weaknesses before they become real problems. This doesn't mean they are anxious or paranoid all the time. It just means they are curious and cautious, two qualities that are often underrated in our hyperspeed digital age. It's about slowing down just enough to ask a few simple questions that can make all the difference. This kind of vigilance allows you to act on instinct when something feels wrong, preventing a small issue from becoming a major incident. 2. Understand that everything is a target. A common misconception is that hackers only go after big fish. You might hear people say, I'm just a small business owner, I'm too small to be a target. But attackers often go after the low-hanging fruit. They prefer smaller businesses, underprotected apps, and even personal email accounts because they are easier to exploit. These smaller targets often have weaker defenses, making them a much more appealing target for cybercriminals looking for a quick and easy win. In fact, a 2023 Verizon data breach investigations report showed that a staggering 74% of all breaches involved a human element. These breaches happened because of simple mistakes like phishing and poor password hygiene. That means the vast majority of attacks don't happen because of some advanced AI-powered hacking. They happen because a person clicked a bad link, or they reused the same password across multiple platforms. Cybersecurity professionals understand this fundamental truth. There is no such thing as not important enough. If you have any data, any kind of access, any money, or even just identity information, you are a potential target. Your business, no matter how small, has valuable information that attackers want. Thinking like a professional means recognizing your own value in the eyes of a hacker and taking steps to protect it accordingly. 3. Embrace the concept of assume breach. One of the biggest mental shifts in cybersecurity is the idea of assume breach. In traditional IT thinking, the goal was to build walls high enough to keep all attackers out forever. But modern cybersecurity assumes that the walls will eventually be breached. It's not a matter of if it will happen, but when and how. This does not mean you should stop focusing on prevention. Instead, it means you must also plan for what happens next. A security professional doesn't just build a big castle wall and hope for the best. They also have an alarm system inside the castle, a plan for how to move to a secure location, and a way to rebuild if a section of the wall falls. They design their systems with detection, response, and recovery in mind, not just prevention. They constantly ask themselves, how quickly can we spot an intruder once they get inside? What systems can they access once they're in? How do we limit the damage they can do? This mindset of planning for when something goes wrong can completely change how you design apps, choose software, or store your passwords. It leads to a more resilient and prepared defense strategy. It means you are ready for anything. 4. Think in layers, not just walls. Cybersecurity isn't a one-time fix. It's not just about installing antivirus software and calling it a day. Real protection means defense in depth. Building multiple layers of security, like you would with your home. Locks, alarms, cameras, and a safe. No single tool is perfect. If multi-factor authentication fails, access logs might catch unusual behavior. If a firewall misses something, endpoint protection could flag it. Layers give you backup time and room to respond. If you're running a business or handling user data, don't rely on just one defense. The more layers you add, the harder it is for attackers to break through. Feeling overwhelmed? Tileris can help you build a layered cybersecurity strategy tailored to your needs. Visit Tileris.com for a free consultation. 5. Make security a habit, not a chore. Cybersecurity isn't just for audits, it's a daily mindset. Like brushing your teeth or hitting the gym, small habits done regularly keep you safer over time. That means pausing before clicking links, verifying unknown messages, updating software, and using a password manager instead of recycling Superman 123. When these habits become second nature, you reduce your chances of falling for common threats without needing to be a cybersecurity expert. Security should fit into your routine, not feel like a burden. 6. Learn from real attacks. One of the fastest ways to understand security is by studying real breaches. The 2013 Target hack? It happened because a third-party HVAC vendor had unchecked access. Cost: over $200 million. The 2020 Twitter breach? Social engineering tricked employees into giving away login details. Many ransomware attacks start the same way. Someone clicks a phishing link. The result: locked systems, stolen data, and huge consequences. Security experts study these stories to learn how attackers think and where systems break down. You should too. Don't just follow best practices. Learn from what actually went wrong. 7. Connect security to human behavior. Most breaches aren't about tech. They're about people. You can have the best firewall, but if someone gives away a password over the phone, it's useless. That's why real security means focusing on user behavior. Make your systems easy to use. Train your team. Build a culture where mistakes can be reported early, without fear. When security fits naturally into how people work, it actually works. 8. Keep learning. The threats don't stop. Cybersecurity isn't a finish line. It's a moving target. New threats pop up every day, and AI is changing how both attackers and defenders operate. That's why professionals never stop learning. Follow experts like Tileris. Subscribe to threat updates. Join online security communities. You don't have to understand everything, but staying informed helps you make smarter decisions. And when you're unsure, ask. Hire a consultant or talk to someone who knows more. The biggest mistake isn't being unsure, it's thinking you're safe when you're not. You don't need to be a certified analyst to think like one. Cybersecurity pros see risk where others see convenience. They ask, what if, before something goes wrong. It's about curiosity, learning, and staying alert. In today's connected world, this mindset isn't optional, it's essential. Start small. Build smart habits. Learn from real attacks. And above all, stay curious. Because the moment you stop thinking like a pro, is the moment you become a target. If you need help, our experts at Tileris are ready. Request a free consultation or book a demo of our AI agents at Tileris.com. We'll show you exactly how we help businesses like yours stay protected. And if you found this helpful, like, share, and subscribe. Help others strengthen their security too. Thanks for watching.